Welcome to Crossing the Median.
Welcome back.
I said median.
Crossing the medium?
Yeah, you gotta have your blinker on when you cross the median. This one is crossing the medium, though. So, welcome back. My name is Rob. We're going to talk all things paranormal. Today, we're going to focus on the paranormal activity outside of the haunting and the ghosts. Kind of go more mythical creatures. We're going to give our thoughts on werewolves. We're going to talk about vampires, perhaps a little zombies in here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll touch on aliens.
Witches, warlocks.
Warlocks, wizards, imps, gnomes, goblins.
Whatever you believe in.
All right. What do you subscribe to? Do you have all of what I mentioned? Checklist, zombie, vampire, werewolf. I don't know which ones did I miss? Oh, goblins, gnomes, fairies,
warlocks, wizards.
Do you believe in all of those? First of all, do you just check every single one? Be like, yes. Because at some point you got to draw the line, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in unicorns.
Right.
I don't think a unicorn exists.
But dragons, maybe.
Dragons probably would have left bones, but maybe they're like dinosaurs have been around for a while, right?
Are dinosaurs dragons? Are dragons dinosaurs?
Mm.
But, I kind of believe that there is a possibility for most of what you mentioned. I don't know how much I believe in, like, werewolves, but, like, a vampire, maybe. It just depends. They can blend in pretty well with society, and you wouldn't even take a second look at them. And, but
okay, so let's go down the list. Okay. If you had to pick yes or no, like exist or don't exist, werewolves.
Probably don't exist.
Don't exist.
Yeah, I'm team don't exist.
Vampires.
Yeah. Yay! I think that there might be some sort of vampire-esque.
So vampires exist, but maybe not the way
like
maybe the way the movies. Yeah, okay.
I don't think. I mean, it's so exaggerated.
I actually agree with you on this one.
Okay.
I'm on board with the werewolves.
Because what constitutes a vampire?
I doubt werewolves exist now. Then again, I've been so wrong about so many different paranormal things where I had leaned one way. And so at the moment, I'm doubting werewolves.
Okay.
However, vampires, they're here.
Right.
Now, is it the vampire you see in the movies? I don't know.
Because is anyone who drinks blood a vampire?
I would say this. I think that people kill other people, and they're driven by evil, and perhaps they need to consume the other person to survive. Now, do they live for eternity? I don't know. Is it like, can they be out in the sun? I don't know. But vampires as a creature exist in lots of forms, not just, we just don't recognize it in the human form.
What do you mean?
But you got the vampire bats.
Oh, yeah.
You have other creatures that
mosquitoes,
suck
blood.
Yes. And so the way I look at it is repeatedly popped up throughout animal existence, right? And why not a form of that in humans?
Right.
Then you also take into account zombies, right? Now, I don't think there's the zombie horde that you see in the movies again. However, there's plenty of... have you seen the zombie, I think it's ants or beetle or something like that?
Zombie ants.
No, okay. There's this infection that gets into an insect. I think it's a beetle or and maybe it's an ant that bites it. But anyways, this infection... And this happens, it keeps multiplying, and it consumes the bug's brain. And the bug just wanders through the forest just as a zombie. It doesn't have control over itself, and it's just like, and then it either gets eaten or its head explodes and it spreads to another bug. So this virus basically consumes a creature. It takes control of them. It wanders, and then it spreads to another bug and takes over their brain, and it ends up wandering.
Yeah.
And then also, there's the most common form of vampire zombie. I guess it'd be more zombie. Would be rabies.
Rabies.
Yeah. Rabies is bacteria. You get bit in the it's literally in the saliva.
Yeah.
You get bit,
And
it goes into your bloodstream. That bacteria goes into your brain, takes control of your brain. You become ravenous, and all you want to do is attack and bite people.
Right.
And so if you're telling me that vampires and zombies ain't no way, it literally happens in nature. Like, it's actually a cause. Like, you get bit, you go get a rabies vaccine. Why? Because you don't want your brain taken over by a bacteria that makes you attack other people and try to bite them.
Right.
And so maybe before the advent of modern medicine, we've had zombies and vampires this entire time, and maybe modern medicine has suppressed it. Because imagine if there was no rabies vaccine. How fast would rabies spread, right?
It'd be everywhere. I mean, yeah, I mean, at least we have vaccines for those kind of things, because we would just have zombies running around everywhere.
Yeah. So before you dismiss the idea that zombies and vampires
Zombies
can't
is probably
exist,
the most practical thing. I mean, we're experimenting with medicines daily.
but there are animals that suck blood, that eat other animals and like survive. Even our human nature is to eat other animals.
Right.
And so a vampire by definition is just a human that eats another human, right? And then takes kind of their power, right? But like their only diet is humans. So, I mean, is there cannibals out here? Perhaps some of these horror stories that we hear where people are eating each other. Maybe.
There's even people that believe that they real life are vampires or real life are werewolves, and they practice.
Yeah, but some of those guys are just weirdos.
yeah.
They just been a hot topic one too many times.
Yeah.
Like,
It is true. But I don't know. I don't trust those people that play around with the dark magic, man. They got some secrets that we don't know about.
but maybe if you play around with dark magic, I know we've talked about this many times.
Mm-hmm.
Play around with dark magic. You invite.
That is
You
an
invite.
open invitation to
Yes.
whatever you are trying to summon.
Yes. And it's no coincidence. Like, people have no paranormal experiences. They have no events. Nothing like attacks them. They're not, like
Well, they're
haunted.
just
But they're
avoiding
just they wake up in their little brand new built house.
Yeah.
They get in their new Hyundai, and then they drive to work at their little office building, and they come back. And then there's the person's like running around the graveyard. Like, oh, that place is haunted? Cool, let's go. And then they're like, well, you're just out here like, yeah, you're just looking for it, so that's why. It's like, no, I'm just in the traffic, right? I find
You go looking for some, probably gonna find it.
exactly. Yeah, if you wanna sit here and say that crime doesn't exist and that you're getting robbed is make believe, I don't believe it. But you live in the nicest neighborhood in your town and you got a gated community, like you're like, well, crime isn't that bad. Get up and go to the ghetto. Go live in the hood and you'll see that crime is bad.
Yeah.
I think it's the same way with paranormal activity.
Definitely. You
If
want to see something?
You want to see something? Go down to the graveyard.
Go to the
Go to the most haunted spaces. And go to that attic where grandma told you not to go up in there.
Or even go to a museum or something. There's so many artifacts nowadays that people have multiple stories about that you can go and visibly see in real life. And these are things that multiple people have mentioned, these items, objects, whatever so be it, are haunted and have these energies that surround them. And you can go and look at it if you have any of those, skepticisms.
Yeah. Okay, let's go down the list. So we've knocked out zombies, werewolves, vampires. Okay, so werewolves, we can scratch that one.
Yeah, let's scratch out werewolves.
All right.
I can't see a man seeing a full moon and getting all hairy, like it just doesn't sit right.
Unless
with
they're Russian.
yeah. The full moon brings out the hair in the Russians, I'll tell you that.
Little vodka. Just start howling at the moon.
Yeah. That'll bring the dog out of you.
Now, okay. So I guess that takes us over to where I would say is the fictional side of storytelling that orcs and Harry Potter and magicians and wizards. Let me ask you this: you believe in magic?
Oh,
like actual magic, not Las Vegas, sleight of hand, illusionist.
Right.
You think like magic is real? Do you think witches are the persona of what a human magician would be? Where are you at on magic? Spells, curses.
I think, I have seen some crazy, performers where,
performers.
then again, it's a
strip,
performance.
The strip clubs or what?
Like real magicians,
She made my money disappear.
No, but people that can change the concept of real life, make you question, like, did I really just see that? And that kind of stuff. They have to be doing some sort of other things than practicing out of a spell book. You can't learn how to change a frog into a different animal from a spell book. I'm just gonna,
bro. I know you ain't bringing up no Disney magic over here. So magic real?
So I think magic is real. Yeah. I mean, you don't believe?
No,
in that?
I think that magic. There's the entertaining magic, right? I think that's all illusion. I don't think that there's people behind the scenes. I don't think there's magicians that are performers and entertaining that are doing real magic. However, there is another plane that exists, right? There is a place that ghost haunted spirits, they travel. And I think there is a way for us to communicate with those.
Okay.
Some people call it magic, some people call it spells, some people call it
seances,
like
whatever.
yes. And for me, that is 100% the way of doing it. And I think others call it magic. I think others call it sorcery. I think others call it spells or curses or tarot cards or just the seance.
I mean, the best type of magic is the magic that includes darkness or mystery. That's what grasps the audience's attention.
Yeah, and I guess the Ouija board would be kind of the good example for those of you that you take historical historical paths to connecting with the other side or perhaps another dimension, and that is done through spells. That is done through
that all of these mythical creatures and everything, because we have no trace of ever seeing humanity. Has no trace, no evidence.
I think they have different names. So I think that currently you have the witches. And I think in the past it would have been the wizards or the orcs or the whoever it is, the elves. I think they're all like the same person, the same type of person. I think it's just a human that has access to sorcery that has been passed down, a communication perhaps through ancient writings, perhaps through word of mouth, the teaching, gospel. But I think that people have been able to connect with other beings, and I think they've done it through scripture that has been passed down. Mm-hmm. And I think that we look at those as your tarot cards, as the way to communicate, the seances, things of that nature.
Right.
But I think it's all been the same person. I think that history is just remembering it in different forms. Right.
When you say it's all been the same person, what do you mean by that?
I think that the modern witch is the
Witch from the past.
is the wizard from the past, or the elf from the past, or the banshee, or whatever it is. I think that there's always been a group of people, or I think that people have always found a way to communicate with the underworld, or with another, or with the afterlife, or with the spirits. They found a way to communicate with those people or those beings, and they've done it through text, sorcery, and perhaps sacrifice, things of that nature. And I don't think it's been like a certain creature that was human-like, right? I don't believe in elves, right? I don't think there was a pointy-eared creature that had magic powers. I think it was just skinny-ass white dudes from Europe that had spells, right? That could communicate with the underworld. And I think that as the civilization evolved, other people did the same thing. But now they weren't called elves. Maybe they were called like druids, or perhaps wizards, or witches, or, I don't know.
So kind of like an evolution kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just we've always done it. That's my thing. I think that as a species, humans have figured out how to connect with the other side.
And it's interesting. That's why we keep doing it, of course. I mean, who wouldn't want to know?
I mean, why do you pray? Right? You pray and you try to talk to your loved ones. Why do you visit the graveyard? Right? Is everyone going to the graveyard talking for no reason? They just breathing these words into the air with no one listening? Everyone is there for a purpose. And I don't think that me going to the graveyard and talking to a family or loved one or whatever it is, I don't think that I am like some unique individual, right? I think that we've been doing it for the history of humankind.
Right.
And some people have found a way to communicate and get a response. Right.
And it's just been passed down.
And it's just been passed down.
I agree with it. I mean, yeah, there definitely has to be some sort of truth in that. So you're saying that I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay. Do you believe in each individual creature, like an elf, like a wizard?
Like when you say elf, like the first thing that pops in my head when you say elf is like Santa's little helper, like someone running around.
Like Lord of the Rings kind of elves, right?
Okay.
You got your elves and your trolls and your goblins. And do you think that those creatures exist, or do you think those are just straight fictional?
I mean, there could be a whole nother place where all of these creatures exist that we just haven't been able to tap into yet, where we can just go there, and now there's unicorns, there's dwarves, ogres, all sorts of stuff. But, like a closet where it leads you into a different world. That's Narnia.
No, man. I think you're on. I think you might.
Because why haven't we? I mean, we've all. So somebody just made this up. Someone back in the day made up ogres, or made up.
See, what I think, the way I look at it is, I think that we have different variations of people, and I think that they just got dramatically like overemphasized. So I think you just had a short, hairy guy, and they were like dwarf. And then you had like a bunch of tall Nordics, and you're like elves. And I think that when you look historically, all of these communities have always had magical powers,
right?
And that's my whole point.
Their own.
Yes, and that's my point. And I think that even now, like, we have magical powers now that are unlocked through education, right? Practice.
Yes.
Tarot cards, sorceries, spells. That's how I think
studying that kind of stuff can unlock
100%
a whole new
100%.
Understanding of
if ghosts exist, if the other closet world exists.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to talk, right? Because if we see it, if we're aware of it, there's a communication plane there somewhere, because they're coming to our senses. So we got to be able to give our senses to them, right? We need to be able to speak to them. We need to be able to see them, bring them over, encourage, whatever it is. And that has to be done somehow through our side. And our side is exactly that.
Right.
Spells, sorceries. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't done it myself. I haven't picked up books, but I've seen people communicate the other side, Bear.
Yeah.
Or perhaps the dimension that lies directly on top of us.
On top of us or below us,
Yeah,
wherever they lie.
I think
I've seen it too, though, man. I've seen people
Yeah.
communicate with the afterlife or spirits or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
because I think it's, I don't know if it's called dimensions or planes or whatever it is, but there's something that lives with us that we can't see, right? Maybe, they always talk, scientists sort of talk about like dark matter, things like that. Like there, they can weigh it, they can see it, they can see the gravity that dark matter has, but it doesn't exist. Like you can't see it, like it's not there. You have matter, like here's matter, like
air is
you pick up an object and it's there. You can see the weight, you can measure it.
Mm-hmm.
But the weird thing about dark matter is that you can measure it, you can see it, you can see its influence on things around it, but there's just no evidence of it. Imagine, okay, so you see the moon going around the Earth, right?
Yeah.
But what if the Earth wasn't there? What if you were looking through a telescope and you see Earth, or you see the moon spinning, and it's just going around, and in the middle there's nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Okay. I'm following.
But you know that there's something there because you see the moon spinning, right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing in the middle of it. That's what dark matter does, right? Dark matter is the evidence is there. You see the weight of it. The scientists can say, like, hey, look, there is something there. We see it. We just don't see it.
Mm.
That is what is happening here in front of us. We know that spirits exist. We see the evidence, but we don't see the evidence.
There's just not clear enough evidence. We have all of these videos and all of these stories that people share and all of these other things that we can look into, but a lot of them have missing pieces if you come to realize. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like what it is with everything in life, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's just so funny that like these logical people, quote unquote, that don't believe in paranormal activity, they'll be so quick to side with scientists, right? They'll be so quick to say that, hey man, like this dark matter thing, it's 100% real. Can't see it, but it's there.
Right.
But then then they're like, yeah, man, this place is haunted. Like there's 1,000 cases of haunted reports over and over again. Like, nah, it's not real. Like, what do you mean? Like, the evidence is here.
I know.
And they're like, well, it's not backed by science. But science says that this is like, get out of here, bro.
It's always that science and imagination. They always combat.
What is science? Science is just a measure of your environment. That's all it is, right? Science says I drop this, so you're measuring something fall here. Science is just a measure of your environment.
Science is
and so
real.
just because you can't measure a certain thing, like you can't measure my vision of me seeing something that is not supposed to be there, because you can't measure it, it's not scientific now.
It's not.
But they do the same thing with the dark matter.
That's like saying
like
air
they
doesn't
measure it, but they, what I mean? Like you can't see it, but they're measuring it,
measuring it.
I don't know.
I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do you guys believe in the folklore and that there's ways to communicate with people of the past, present, and future? Leave it down in the comments. Let us know.
And also, what do you believe in when it comes to the list of paranormal entities? Do you believe in werewolves, ghosts, zombies, orcs, things of that nature? So put that below. We'll reply to all the comments. We want to know.
Everyone.
The
Comments.
And then if you have not yet subscribed, if you haven't liked the video, do us a favor. Support the brand. We're new. We're growing. Help us
You
grow.
don't want to miss out. I
Mm-mm.
promise
All right. Well,
that.
till next time, Crossing the Medium out.